Hi. But I got to thinking that my most watched video on this channel is the Oh HELLOS Soldier Poet King. I mean, it has over 200 views. And I'm not trying to flex because that's really not that many, but it's a lot for my channel because I do not have a really big following. By the way, I just hit 25 subscribers, so if you're new, welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anyway, so I decided, since it's my most popular video and since it's really, really hard to see what I'm doing, maybe I should just break this down into a tutorial. Plus, it's always a good chance to re-examine how I did it and if there's an alternate way to do it in case my way was too hard. Couldn't really call it a chorus, but the interval between verses was I just fingerspelled, and there's really no official way to spell something that's just a sound, like ole, olai, olor. So you could pretty much spell it however you want. I just try to do it as easily as possible. I'll show you that when we get to it. All right, that being said, I'm going to play part of the song. But first I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So the very first verse, but the first part, there will come, there's a couple different ways you can do that. I think I just literally did there will come. You could do will or future, arrive, or even visit. Arrive like this. Come, like literally come here. I would say arrive. So either this, or this. This is kind of more like, I hopped in, hopped out. But I think it'll work just fine for this song. I think I'll use that one. So, soldier. By the way, if you're new to sign language, you don't have to put a or the, or usually any of those really small words. They're implied, just like with certain other languages. If you study language, I could name a couple, but I don't want to. Okay, so soldier is, you're going to take your A hands, and it's like you're holding a gun over your shoulder. If you've ever seen like an old movie or a modern movie, it's like that when they're holding their gun. Shoulder. I think of older movies more because for some reason this just reminds me of like Revolutionary War, kind of carrying your gun, but any war really would do it. So this soldier, you could use the same sign for warrior, pretty much any like private, just a regular soldier. But there are more specific signs for ranks, which I'm not going to do, but they exist, so it's not all encompassing. All right, carries a mighty sword. I do not know if there is a sign for sword, but I didn't bother to look it up because I thought for the purpose of this song, it would be more effective to just act it out anyway. And if I literally sign sword, it wouldn't probably look that good, or this probably is the sign for sword. Either way, I'm just going to stick with this. So you could do literally carries, or you could scrap that word entirely, which I don't recommend doing that, and just, he carries a sword mightily, strongly, or you could do powerfully. All right, he will tear your cities down. So I threw in a little ASL grammar for this part. I started with cities. You usually start with the subject. Not always in songs, because sometimes it's just too confusing with a song to do that. I would have to rearrange too much. But when I can, I try to go with the actual grammar. So, city. I have seen city like this, but I'm told that it's not preferred, and this is easier to do. So, your city, you would start with. Or you could do city, your, whichever. Your city, he. So again, the imaginary person, he, pick a direction. Will. You don't have to do will, but I like to do it for clarity, and just sometimes I think I need more signs for the line to look good with the timing. So tear, and I just acted this out. Tear down with like his bare hands. If you're gonna do tear down with like wrecking equipment, it would look different. But I just don't see the soldier using wrecking equipment. Now, if you wanted to be really funny, you could say use the sword and just kind of teared it down, tore it down. Totally would accept that. Gee, I should have done it that way, I think. But I kind of prefer to stick with a bit more literal of an interpretation for this. All right. And then, okay, so Ole Lara Lore. So I'm just going to do it slowly, and you can copy me or you can do your own thing. I do not care. So O-L-A-Y. That's Ole. O-L-I-E. Olai. O-L-O-R. Olor. If you watch the video carefully, you notice I did not get all of this in. And I am sorry for that, but it is very hard to fingerspell that quickly. And I know I made mistakes. The good thing is it's also really hard to read it that quickly, so it would be hard to notice I made those mistakes unless you were fluent in ASL already. And I'm betting probably most of you aren't. Apparently there's a couple people watching right now, so if you do have any questions or suggestions, go ahead and leave a comment. I am keeping an eye on that. All right, now I'm going to do what I did before and put it to music. So, here we go. And of course, this just means music.
A soldier who carries a mighty sword. He will tear your city down. Olay, olay, O Lord. Olay, 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 O Lord. He will tear your city down. Olay, olay, O Lord.
All right. Pause. Okay. You see, that is hard to do. Definitely need practice. And I did practice this song before doing it, and I still made mistakes because it is so fast. But I don't care because it was really fun anyway. Anyway, so second verse. Whew, there will come a poet. So yeah, you're going to basically do the same thing. There will come. For a poet, maybe you would do visit. That kind of makes sense. They will visit a poet. So poetry is like, this is poetry. It's coming up out of you, right? It's your soul. That's poetry. Poet. So poet is poetry person. So there will come a poet whose weapon, skip whose, or if you were going to do whose, his or hers. Weapon. So the official sign for weapon is like this. And that is what I used. Weapon, word. He will, again, you could leave out will if you want to. Slay. So I just use the basic sign for kill, which you can do it like this, or I think you can also do it with a K, whichever you want to do. And it's directional. So kill you with tongue. I mean, if you want to stick your tongue out, go ahead. I think that looks kind of rude. But otherwise, just mouth. That'll work. And then ole, olai, olor, ole, olai. Here we go. All right, now let's see if I can do this.
There will come a poet whose weapon is his word. He will slay you with his tongue. Olay, olay, O Lord. Olay, 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 O Lord. He will slay you with his tongue. Olay, olay, O Lord.
All right, at the risk of sounding like a geek, I will fully admit that I found this song because of My Hero Academia animatic that used Kirishima, Mina, and Bakugo. If you watch it, you know who those people are. And I cannot hear this verse without seeing that drawing of Bakugo. Little fun fact, his name actually does mean king or lord. Explosion. So, and if you've never watched the show, that in itself is still pretty funny. Anyway, sorry if you can't get that image out of your head now. This is the hardest verse because there is no sign that I could find for at least two of the words in it. But there's a sign, luckily, for the other ones. So there will come again. And if you want to change it up, this might look a bit more forceful. I mean, he's going to come and put his foot down. You know what I mean? There will come. So we'll use this handshake. Ruler, manager, controller. Well, this is rule, manager, control, and then person. Ruler. Right. Whose brow is laid in thorn. Yes, that is a probably biblical reference. Well, it is one, actually, because this song, if you don't know, is actually supposed to be about the second coming of Christ. Little fun fact also there. So, you could do this different ways. But what I went with was just kind of showed crown and like spikes, because that's basic. That's the only thing that made sense to me to show. I think thorn is the same as sting, like this. I could be wrong. But if I did thorn, like I could do like that all around, but I thought it was simpler just to do that instead. I think that is actually how you sign Crown of Thorns anyway. Or you might use more fingers, but I think it's just like the three. But don't take my word for it on that one. Okay, smeared with oil is the hardest part. So first I just finger spelled oil. Probably badly, but oil. And I acted it out because literally to sign smeared with oil probably wouldn't look right in this context. I'd want to do all over, but I ran out of time, so it was kind of just my face. But I mean, that is where you would get anointed with oil for the most part, and also on your feet. It depended on what kind of oil it was too. But for a ruler, in case you didn't know this, you would get anointed with oil on the top of your head. It would flow like over your hair, and you would smell that way for at least a week or more. And in a day before deodorant or official perfume, you wanted to smell like oil. Anyway, it was the way to show who the next king of Israel was going to be. So lots of references being thrown in here. Like David's boy. I've never understood why it's boy. But so like is easy. David, I was really hoping there'd be a sign for David, but I didn't find one. So I just fingerspelled David. If you know one, tell me, please. And I think I also messed this up, but boy. However, son would be more accurate. But it's really fast, so if you don't have time to do both those movements, Well, first of all, I won't know. Also, I'm not going to judge, so please don't judge me if I don't do it. Which sounds stupid, but I have already had somebody tell me that the way I sign isn't ASL enough, which I know is true. I'm working on that. Common problem for people who do songs. However, for the song I did, I was like, I would like to see you do this song in straight ASL. Really, I'd like to see it, but I doubt I could find it on YouTube. Actually, I have a really hard time finding actual ASL videos myself, which is kind of the whole point of trying to make them. But I'm like, it's a song. Sometimes it's not going to work out perfectly. Anyway, you're not here to listen to me complain about ASL videos. Let's go ahead and do this verse. There we go. Okay, that is the song. I'm honestly surprised this is my most popular song because I did not do a good job because it is really fast and really hard to sign. And maybe in the future I will know enough sign language to figure out a faster way to do it. And maybe I'll re-upload then, I don't know. I'd redo it now, except I think that it would come out the same way. But I thought I would at least show you what I was going for, and thank you for watching. All right, if you have any ideas about any other tutorials or any other songs you'd like to see in the future, go ahead and comment or subscribe if you just want to stay updated about what I am putting out, because I'm currently doing Oh Hellos, Always Skillets. I just did a Kingdom Hearts song of all things, and I don't play Kingdom Hearts, but I love this song. And I also do worship songs from time to time, which are fun and usually very easy because I literally practice them pretty much every week. Anyway, that is all for now. Thank you. Bye. Have a great day.